Hi, my name is Kara Knox. I am a senior at the University of Houston main campus. My major is an EC through 6 generalist, an elementary school teacher. I would really like to teach younger kids after I graduate. I love kindergartners, first graders. They're my favorite. They're just so sweet. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my language experience. So I'm an English speaker, native English speaker, and my family doesn't speak any other languages. When I was growing up, in middle school, high school, kind of both, you had to take at least 2 years, I think, of a language. I don't think you could take just one. And I think you could choose whether you did it in middle school or high school. I chose middle school, get it out of the way. And all of my friends took Spanish. And I know that probably would have been the smarter thing to do, since we live in Texas and Mexico is so close and a lot of people here speak Spanish. But I did not want to do Spanish. I was really, really into France and anything French, anything about Paris. I had an Eiffel Tower French kind of hot pink and chandeliers themed bedroom. That was my thing as a middle schooler. So I took French for 2 years. And I don't remember a whole lot about the class. I remember my teacher, her name was Miss Granieri. I know I just butchered that. And she was wonderful. She was from France. She actually retired and halfway through my second year and moved back to France. She was just a lovely person, and she never ever judged us for messing up, for getting words a little bit wrong. She just kind of helped us through it because she understood that we're 13 and it's a hard language to learn if you speak English. It's a very different barrier, and I don't remember any of my French, like, at all. Probably, like, basic conversational, like, hi, my name is Kara, where's the bathroom, this is what I would like to eat, how are you, etc. Like, very, very basic. And even that, I'm certain I speak with a terrible accent. And then that was middle school. In high school, I didn't do anything concerning language. My focus was to just get my education classes in so that it would be an easy transition into college. It wasn't. But I did not take any language in high school. All of my friends were still going on with their language education, and I was like, I'm done. I took 2 years of French in middle school. That's it. And then I get to college, and they're like, oh, by the way, you have to have a language. And I, yet again, probably should have taken Spanish. That probably would have been a really smart thing to do. But then I saw that my school offered ASL, American Sign Language, and I thought that would be a really good thing to take, because for a while I tossed around the idea of working in special ed. I have since discovered that's not really my place. I don't flourish there, but I thought that would be a nice language to take. I don't know, it called to me. So I took it. It was a really cool class, actually. It was 9 weeks, so it's pretty short. And my professor was deaf. He did not speak at all. He only used sign language. And it was a totally immersive class, like 100%. So we had to wear earplugs, actually, for the whole class. It was a long class, too. It wasn't just like an hour. And we got like a few, like maybe 2 speaking breaks, including lunch, throughout the day, where we could take out the earplugs and actually speak. But for the rest of the class period, we were not allowed to talk. We had 5 to 7 TAs in there with us, assuring that we did not talk. If we talked, if we whispered, if our phone went off, then they would tattle. They would tell the professor. We'd get in big trouble. With too many disturbances, you would get like dropped from the class. We had a couple people dropped from the class. It was really, really rigorous. And he made sure that we were just like all in it. We were regularly having to respond to him in sign language. We had to several times after school, after work at night, go to a church that held meetings for deaf people to just let other deaf people get to speak to each other, because, you know, I guess it can be kind of lonely in a world where you don't speak and everyone else does. So we had to go and interview some people about specific things, that like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite animal? etc. Little things like that, which I'm sure are really embarrassing. But we did that several times. That was nice. Met some lovely people. I was not very good at sign language. I'm still not very good at sign language. I do still try, but I know that's not anything near what I should be doing. So I need to work on that more. I got a C in the class, so. Then for a while I worked at a private preschool called Primrose, and so much of our staff and a lot of our kids were native Spanish speakers. I didn't speak a lick of Spanish, so that was kind of a little barrier for me, and several of my friends and coworkers decided that it would be good for me to try, to learn little bits to help, form a bond with the kids better, etc. So my lead teacher at the time actually decided that I would teach this Spanish lesson. It's called Mucho Mundo, and it was just colors, shapes, months of the year, days of the week, couple of numbers, couple of words like mom, dad, etc. Nothing crazy, but because of doing that, I actually do remember all of those things that she had me teach. So I thought that was a pretty fun way to get me involved. That's all I know of Spanish. I don't know anything more than my colors and my numbers and whatever. But I think that all of that kind of really shaped how I see ELL education, because I was so stumped in all these new situations where I didn't know the language, and I'm sure it's even harder for a child. So I think it's really important that we find ways to get through to them so that they understand, and help them to understand English better so that they can succeed more going through if they stay in an English-speaking school, basically, but without losing any of their own culture. I think that's also really important, not to break any of their ties. But that's my opinion, that's my experience, so thank you.